County. Those of you follow the broadcast from Riverside County, those of you from Bone County, those of you from Margidi County, Bukaw City, the Port City, the Grand Bassa County. Good morning, this is News Generation, the very top-provoking radio program, the program that digs into things taking place in we statutory district, Liberia, and other parts of the world. Welcome to the Friday's edition of the program. News Generation here, of course. We are here to generate news for you, emanating exclusively from our district. 364 days have gone in 2022. One more day remaining. As the famous saying says, it is always at the edge of the river where the canoe can sometimes castle. So those of us who are almost at the end of 2022, this is the time we got to be very cautious. Let's take our time because we have got one more day to go in 2022. And Sunday going to be January 1, the very first beginning of the year 2023. My name is Sylvester Opa Dobson here on this presentation of the Friday's presentation of the program News Generation. It's a collaborative presentation here with the man Louis Mackenzie Pega, who have always been your usual presenter. Remember today is the 30th of the month of December. As you may have been hearing in our intro, Councillor Tiawan say Gongloe is the standard bearer of the Liberia's People Party, the LPP.
Liberian People's Party.
Councillor Tiawan Gongloe is the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party. We understand he's on the county tour to present himself to the people of Liberia. In extension of that exercise, he has also come in our district to also present himself to the people of we statutory district, Grand Bassa County. He has exclusively made a tour of the two counties, and we understand this is the third county. Councillor Tiawan Gongloe, we're going to be discussing with him deeper into the discussion point here. Let me take it down and join the man Louis Mackenzie Pega, your usual presenter of the program, the News Generation in our absence. Good morning, Louis Mackenzie Pega.
Yes, good morning, Sylvester, and let me say good morning to the peace-loving people of we statutory district, Grand Bassa County, Riverside County, Margidi County, and other parts of Mama Liberia, tuning, listening to the program, the News Generation, most especially the Friday's edition. So it's a pleasure, Sylvester.
How are you faring this morning? I mean, we've got one more day to climax activities of 2022. What's the feeling about the Fridays having to be the second to the last day?
Yes, sure. By the grace of God, you know God has everything we do on this planet, we put them in His possession because He controls our daily activities. And I've taken me specifically to the second to the last day of the year 2022. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing that the Almighty God has done, and I just want to give Him all of the praises He deserves. Because, for a matter of fact, all of the things that the Almighty God does, no one questions His ability.
For sure.
For a matter of fact, He does what pleases Him.
So, of course,
that
this is why we have to give Him praises, whatever the situation is, whether good or bad. We must praise the Almighty God.
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful.
So like you said, as we are going towards the end of 2023, 2022, let us give all of the praises to the Almighty God, and I'm hopeful that we all are going to enter 2023.
Great. So, of course, let's take a break. When we come back, then we now see how we can cross the table to join our astute guest here this morning. One word for quarter. What are we going to do? No. It has to be on a number or. Yeah. Yeah, so we put a phone here to make the call. When you going to make the call? No. Oh. So you have to call the station's number. But we are not able to get that number. Unless my number. Even yours. I'm looking for information. Indeed, happy birthday to you, Mama Liberia. What a wonderful way to say welcome back to this Friday's edition of the program, The News Generation, having to be the last presentation of the program, The News Generation, that digs news emanating from our district and other parts of Mama Liberia. Like I said, this morning, as part of our presentation this morning, we have a very important guest here this morning. He's Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. He's the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party, otherwise called the LPP. We understand he's on some kind of counter tour to present himself to the people of Liberia, and he has begun that with 2 counties already, and this is the 3rd county he has come to. And we are privileged as people of West Statutory District to have the presence of this human rights lawyer in our country, and of course in our district. Let's cross the table to join him shortly this morning. Good morning, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe.
Good morning, my brother, the 2 of you.
Yeah,
thank you very much for hosting me this morning. This is one of the best days in my life because I didn't know that apart from Buchanan, there was another big town like this in Grand Bassa County. And I used to say wrongly that Buchanan was the only big town in Grand Bassa County. So knowledge is power. Coming around that, I know. But first, I want to tell the people of We Statutory. Is that a statutory?
Yes, statutory.
We Statutory District, and the people of my mother's home, Bon County, my father's home, Nimba. I'm sure somebody Nimba is hearing you.
Of course, district number 9 is
my in-laws of the Bassa belt, because my sister Edith Gongloe was married to a white Bassa man. So people are my in-laws, you need to give me some diary good morning before I leave. I want to say be mercy to everybody. I also, because I heard that yesterday people were waiting for me, and I didn't come because of the road condition and the other places we had to go. By 8 o'clock we'll stay in Lac area. So I want to tell all of the people of We Statutory District, especially those who went out to wait for me indefinitely yesterday, I'm very, very sorry. And I'm happy to have the last word. I'm a lucky man to have the last word this year on your radio station. And
that's good.
Why I'm saying that, I'd like to express sympathy to those who are mourning this period. I know that right now some people are mourning. I want to wish those who are celebrating their birthday around this time. Also, a lot of people are born on Christmas Day too.
Of course. Every day is a birthday for someone.
Express happy birthday to them. We wish everyone New Year 2024. We hope that all of us will reach there. It's just 2 days away. But some people may not reach there. So
of course.
We are praying that God will let everybody who lives in We Statutory District the opportunity to reach, at least to reach that day to say, I reached 2023. So that is my statement this morning. I really love to be here.
Thank you.
Very, very happy. This town is like another town I saw in Bon County. David Dean's town.
As a matter of fact, this is a city. Wayzohn city.
I like to see the city.
The city has a mayor. No, the mayor is, I think he's listening.
Good. And this morning, we'll be meeting all of the people at We Statutory statutory district to present my platform to them for them to really know me physically at the Methodist. Yeah, at the Methodist Church. This morning at 10 o'clock. So I'm calling on all those who came out yesterday to assemble there to listen to me and to ask me questions, to make comments about me, because I like to know everything. You know, I'm going around the country because, you know, it's natural that you cannot solve a problem that you don't know. By coming around and seeing the conditions under which the people are living, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge that I cannot gain when I'm sitting in Monrovia. A lot of the other candidates, even including the president of Liberia, I've not been to places. I've been to 37 towns in Bong County.
Maybe they will follow suit.
I've been to 106 towns in Nimba County, and I've already been to 22 towns in Grand Bassa County. Let them follow suit. I'm a standards setter. I set standards. Everywhere I've been, I transform. Now I'm even hearing people are following the things I'm saying. I like that. I like for people to copy my platform. I hope that all of them will do what I'm trying to do. So that even if I don't win and they win, they will do the same thing I'm doing. Like right now, some people are calling themselves team. I have team Gongloe. I never heard that before. I used to hear friends of one skin, friends of this. Once I found team Gongloe, other people, other politicians are now having team this, team that. So I'm a standard center. I like it. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching all my life. Some of the big shots in Liberia will talk about me. The vice president of my student, the cabinet general, Justice cabinet general of my student, Justice Kava, Bernie Samka, big names that you know were my students.
Great. That's wonderful, Councillor. I think it's an opportunity for us too to have your presence with us here. It's literally our first time interfacing with you on such an occasion. It's good. Now, you spoke back in the form of apologizing to the many people that turned out yesterday and you did not come. But then you said that in Bassa, and I'm sure now everyone that went there is a Bassa person. I think English could be the one that everybody could get into.
So I'm in the Bassa area, and I know that Bassa people love the language so much to the extent that all of the different ethnic groups that live here understand Bassa. The Bassa people are not ashamed to speak the language like other people. You know, my own man and Gilbo, sometimes some of our people like to shy away from speaking the language. Let me also speak to the huge man and Gilbo who are here under the Nimba Kwado, Kabwa, Kavoe, Kamosiguelo. Let me tell all of the people who live here who don't speak any of the languages, Merry Christmas, and I wish all of you Happy New Year. And I want to express great apology on behalf of the Liberian People's Party and myself for those who went out yesterday and I didn't show up. I didn't show up because I made stops along the way. I went to 2 communities in Grand Bassa. I went to 3 estates in Lac, and the road was not as good. We were going like 5 miles per hour, so it was slow. Again, that's part of the underdevelopment of Liberia. One of the reasons that I want to be president, I want to constantly maintain the roads as it used to happen under Tiawan.
Great.
By having followers in all of the countries.
That's wonderful. So, Councillor, before we dive into the purpose of your trip in this part of Liberia, one would like to know who is Councillor Gongloe. This name is a household name, but coming to this part of the district, it would be a revelation to others. Give us a little synopsis of your human rights advocacy and all of that. First of all, before we go to the different positions you help on.
Gongloe has been a student leader and student activist from high school to the University of Liberia. I was one of the high-headed students at the University of Liberia, challenging the one-party state in the virtual one-party state we had under three-party in the 1970s. To the extent that at the age of 22, as a sophomore student, I was jailed by President Tiawan for declaring Monrovia a holiday in Liberia for a 1-hour visit of President Carter. And I went to jail with several other presidents, Joseph Willow, Collins, Stewart, and many others. There were 6 student leaders coming in, we said that were jailed because of that. I never wavered. Under President Doe, I was teaching at the university, but I was known as an activist and opposition politician connected to Imo Sawyer.
Okay.
So August 22nd, when the military attacked the university, even though I told them I was teaching, they said that you're teaching about ideas, and so I was whipped, and I ended up in a hospital. Under Charles Taylor, I was a leading human rights lawyer. I won International Human Rights Award, and I've never been afraid to speak truth to power. I don't lie on power. I spoke on behalf of people like Liberia. Speaking for journalists, I'm the #1 lawyer when it comes to defending journalists in this country. I defend all the newspapers free of charge. I made a public declaration that I defend freedom of expression because in a democracy, people must speak freely. And so I kept defending to the extent that Taylor put me in jail and I was severely tortured. Over one night and the next 7 days I couldn't walk. For 3 months I was working with Ken in this country. I had never wavered. I'm prepared to die for Liberia anytime. I'm prepared to waive any comfort for Liberia. I'm prepared to waive any enjoyment for Liberia. For example, I was Minister of Labor in 2010, November. I resigned from the government when President Salif sent all the ministers on compulsory leave. I criticized the 13-page press release that is on the internet. And when she still called me back in the government, I said, Madam President, you know if I want to come back in your government,
we have published something.
I am not coming back in your government because of the level of corruption that is going on. So I worked with the President of Liberia, Dr. Imo Sawyer, for 4 years. And I can safely say he was one of the enlightened presidents like Liberia had. In fact, the only president of Liberia was a professor, of political science, PhD. I worked with him for 4 years and I did learn a lot. I always tell people, when you are a mechanic boy working in the garage and you learn a mechanic job.
For sure.
So I'm the only candidate in the last 100 years who actually learned to be president because I worked with a president for 4 years. Then President Salim made me Solicitor General. I worked for 3.5 years as Solicitor General. And I was elevated to cabinet post as Minister of Labor. And I served there for 1.5 years. And I changed the labor law. It's called decent work and a very good labor law.
Which is yet to come to practice.
It is there, it was passed 2015 under President Salim's second term, even though I submitted in your first term, but a lot of employers were not satisfied with what was in there, and so it needs to be taught. People need to learn it because a lot of workers don't know their rights under that law.
For sure.
There are a lot of rights under that law.
And the rights are
also issued regulation number 17 that increased work for Liberians that foreigners are getting. That regulation I issued 2010 is still being used today, which means it was good change. The government has changed many ministers that come after me, and they have tried to change it, but it has not worked because the Labour Congress of Liberia supports it, and so many workers support it. So I'm a transformer, and that's what I am. That's what I
So the various positions that you served, in what way did it impact the Liberian people?
Number one, I'm ready with that answer. Number one, when I was Solicitor General, I did a study of the justice system at Harvard. I was privileged to be a research assistant enjoying the prestigious fellowship at Harvard called W.E.B. Du Bois Fellowship. And I was in the W.E.B. Du Bois Institute of Africa and African American Research. And I was doing an independent study on the rebuilding the justice system. I learned a lot about the imperfection of our justice system. I didn't even know I'll be Solicitor General later on to actually work to strengthen the justice system. So when I became Solicitor General, I found that all of the county attorneys in Liberia, including even the county attorney, the only county attorney who was a law school graduate was the one in Monserrato County, Monrovia. Okay. And now government been taking the thing Monrovia to be exceptional. All the county attorneys in Liberia were not law school graduates. Some of them were not even high school graduates. And these are the people that were putting people in jail. So I saw that as human rights violation of the people of Liberia. I changed that. I removed them and brought law school graduates as county attorney for the first time in Liberian history since 1847. That's transformation. Your change must be brought by agents of change. You cannot prosecute and we don't do law. And that changed prosecution. Since I changed it, it has been that way. No government appointed a non-lawyer to be county attorney since I left the Ministry of Justice. I also found out that rape was so rampant especially after the war, because rape was one of the weapons of war. Women were raped as checkpoints and all of that. So I said we have to pay attention to this. So I recommended the creation of an SGBV section, sexual and gender-based violence section, so that we can have prosecutors concentrating on rape cases alone. The president accepted my recommendation that I made in 2007. By 2008, we established, by 2009, we established the SGBV section. I actually interviewed I recommended and interviewed the first appointee to that place, the former associate justice, to set the tone. I needed a knowledgeable and experienced lawyer, and that went well, and it is functioning today as another change that I brought to the ministry. At the Ministry of Labor, we have a labor law that says to strike is illegal. And strike is the only instrument that workers can use to get the company to negotiate. They are the only two they have. So we put in the new labor law, Decent Work Act, that workers have a right to strike. And when they strike, no management can dismiss them because it is a fundamental right of workers. We put in that labor law, it used to be not a regulation, but that any woman working with any company that is pregnant is entitled to 3 months maternity leave, and it could be extended if she's not well. Then we put there something for the family. If your family member, your wife or child is sick, or your mother or father is sick, you have a right to spend 5 days with them. I call that, compassionate leave. Then we put there that no management has a right to stop union for entering any workplace. It is a fundamental right of workers to unionize. So there are a lot of...
Which bill?
The Decent Work Act. The new labor law is called Decent Work Act, and we wrote it. It started under Minister Kofi, who's completed it, and we had an ILO consultant. ILO is the International Labour Organization. It is responsible for workers' rights in the world. So we had a consultant from there who helped us, and we produced the first labor law based on the decent work doctrine of the ILO. So it's a very good labor law. It's not complete. There are some things there that need to be improved upon. Of course, when I'm president, I will hear improvement on some of the things that I get. So I did a transformation. The other thing is, when I entered the Ministry of Labor, I found out that so many non-Liberians were doing jobs that Liberians are qualified for. Accounting job, store board, different jobs.
You think that is not still happening in this country?
It is happening, but I'm not there. So here is the transformation. I call all the employers. I say it's after war. The young people in the street go to Randall Street and Broad Street intersection. They used to be part of it. They're all in their tire shop. If you don't provide them jobs, there will be increment in the crime rate, and there could be instability. They'll jump on the street, provide them job and keep them busy. Many of the employers told me something very disrespectful. I'm minister appointed by president, elected by the people of Liberia. Some of them say Liberian people are lazy, Liberian people can steal. I said, you are insulting my country in front of me. I will give you incentive to change. So I met with my team at the Ministry of Labor. At that time, the work permit fee was just $400. I've been away for years. So employers will even employ 50 non-Liberian and pay that money. So I increase it. We increase it from $400 to $1,000. We mean if you have 20 employees who are non-Liberian this year, you pay $20,000. Then next year you pay another $20,000. That is eating into your profit. Immediately without me telling them, they lay off a lot of non-Liberian employees, and they started employing more Liberians because they pay them lower salary, and they don't have to, because the law requires that you will employ a foreigner. That foreigner is entitled to vacation, paid vacation, and you have to buy a ticket for that person to go back home. You have to provide housing for that person, and you don't have to do it for Liberians. So they started employing Liberians and employ more Liberians. Where they could employ one foreigner, they could employ 5 Liberians, and they do 5 Liberians, they make salary much lower than that one person. So they employed a lot of Liberians, and it was helpful. So that's what I did. Today, when you see in the supermarket in Monrovia, the young girls that are cashiers, before regulation number 17, only Lebanese and Indians were sitting as cashiers. Men. Today, the women. The evidence is visible is there. And I understand that some ministers have come and somebody, a foreigner, being behind them to change that law. But the law is so popular with the Liberian Labour Congress, the umbrella labor union. And any minister that tries to change it and reduce that work permit fee, we will not say that in that ministry because the workers will strike and the people will move. So you see, when you make a good change, you transform, it can stick. I am not a job seeker, I'm a transformer. And that's why I want to bring that idea of transformation to the larger society by being president of Liberia.
Great. So these are policies and regulations according to you put in place, and parallel they are working in the country or aren't working. Now, we understand you are the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party. This is a dream of unseating the incumbent. In what way do you think there is a need for change since being President Weah sits in the driving seat?
I think the first mistake that a lot of young people and other Liberians, not only young people, some older people join to make in this country, is to elect a president who knew nothing about running government. In life, everything has to be learned. To be a mechanic, you got to be a mechanic boy. Even you get degree in mechanic work, if you are not working in a garage as a mechanic boy,
so you have to be in a garage before you learn.
Yes. So look, and I give you an example. My late friend Reginald Kipper, who died in America a few months ago, just our class of 1981. He graduated of magna cum laude in engineering. He went to work at Water and Sewer, and they were doing something. And the man who graduated from BW, who I worked with Water and Sewer for 20 years, he said, sir, that thing will not work. It's spoiling government money. He said, I graduated of magna cum laude. He wanted to do it, and the thing didn't work. And I say, all the people, my experience show that people have done it and failed. That's why I was telling you that the way to do it. Nothing can beat experience. You know, so you have not worked as an office boy. You are not working even as a vacation student in government office. Then we took the whole government and gave it to you. It just does not work. And people can say you can.
So where were you when the Liberians people were making the decision?
Oh, I was opposed to you. I was on the radio talking and saying, look, Weah is a celebrated footballer and I really love him. He put Liberia on the map, he made all of us proud. But at the place that he actually for that God gave him and the advantage to, and let's keep him as our precious jewel. Nobody should contaminate him with politics. Now they gave him something that he can't do. You know, no matter how good a carpenter is, you can't give him your car to do mechanic work on it. He will spoil it, and when you spoil it, don't blame yourself. That's the thing we're going through now. Yeah, me, I work as executive assistant in the office of the president. I work as solicitor general, which is the position of deputy minister. I work as minister. In the executive branch of government that the president leads, the only position I have not had in the executive branch of government is the top position, presidency. So I'm prepared. I have knowledge and experience. Now, in most countries, people like to elect economists because they know about the economy. All right? Then some people like to elect lawyers. Like in America, the president and vice president today are both lawyers. Now, I am an economist and I'm a lawyer. Liberia could not have it any better. If we miss this opportunity of a transformer who has the knowledge and experience, that would be a big blow to Liberia. So, for example, what am I trying to do? I have a 10-point agenda, but I'd like to talk about 4 of them that are so clear. Look, we are hungry in this country. The only way to reduce price of rice is for Liberia to produce rice. No other way. So I want to mechanize farming by government giving machines to the 15 countries through the farmers cooperative on a 15-year interest-free loan to grow rice. Because in Grand Bassa County, we have 5 farms the size of land.
So that is an agenda of one of the 10
That is one of the agenda. All right? The next thing we want to do is to have our children go to school for free. From kindergarten to 12th grade, we want to provide textbooks.
But this government has offered free school.
The logic shows that the foundation is where you start. Nobody waters flower by starting flowering it from the leaves. You water it from any plant, from the roots. If the foundation is not strong, it's not going to go anywhere. everywhere where education has been strengthened, they start with the foundation. My rule, my procedure is for children from kindergarten to 12th grade to go to all public schools free of charge. Government will provide copybooks, pencils, pens for all of the children. Government will provide all the textbooks for the children, and there will be free feeding program. Because not everybody God gave the same brain. Some of the children who are out of school today because their parents don't have money, maybe they don't have the brain to be our scientists, to be our surgeons, our medical doctors. Yet they are left out of school because their parents are poor. It is the obligation of the government, like under Article 6 of the Constitution, not by choice, a duty to educate all the children of Liberia. I want to follow that as a lawyer to meet the constitutional mandate to the people of Liberia. I also want to make sure that we have a healthy population. So what I want to do, I want to say here that honor what the study shows that more pregnant women can die in this country. When they die, the children are born also die, they remain the belly and they die. So we want to make sure that under my government, I've said it many times, that all pregnant women will go to all the government clinics free of charge. They will not pay 1 cent, not 1 cent they will pay. Because sometimes their husband don't have money, they don't say get money, their boyfriend get money, and so when their parents don't have money to send them to clinic. So for the first week of the pregnancy, they want to go to the hospital when their stomach starts hurting. By the time they get there, the complication they are late. So many pregnant women die. The records show that Liberia is among the 10 countries in the world where more pregnant women die. So it's a national emergency. As a result, when I become president, I would say all pregnant women go to the hospital free. They will not pay 1 cent.
Treat of the full.
And then the other thing we'll do is that additionally, the children born by them. A lot of children that die in the country because they start putting herb in their mouth even as a 1-week-old baby. So children from 0 hour to 5 years will go to all hospitals, all government hospitals in Liberia free of charge. Their parents will not pay anything so they can survive. Then older people, when you're 65 years old, which company can employ you? And their children abandon them sometimes. So, and we need old people to give us wisdom because of their experience, so the country can be peaceful. So all Liberian men and women 65 years up until God calls them will go to hospital free. They will not pay anything. Then the other thing is our rural condition. Our top of health, our top of education, our top of food, rice production. I just say food. On top of cassava in here, I talk about rice. Because in Liberia, you eat here, you say, I ain't have no money for it, you food here. So we talk about rice production. Now the next thing is what I think are promoting poverty in this country, lack of roads. So you can have all the food stuff in Riverside. They want to bring it to Buchanan to sell, with the oranges and everything getting rotten. So I want to, it used to happen in the country that was probably where you are in all the counties. So probably where you used to maintain the roads throughout the year. I want to restore that. People got away in this country when one government does something, even if it grew when they come, they want to change everything. You can't change everything that and bring new things. That thing I want to top and do. When we have point where you are in all the country, I will bring it back, and the Gongloe government will bring it back. You have yellow machine everywhere in all the big towns. Because if you have yellow machine in Sasol City or even in Yapatan, and you get yellow machine in Buchanan, the road between Riverside and Grand Bassa will never be spoiled during the rainy season. But today you can't come from Southeastern Liberia to Ganta. You can't come from Vandermont to Banga. You can't come from Babolo easily to Monrovia. You can't come from Riverside easily to Buchanan. You can't come from Cape Mount easily to Monrovia. We have to stop that so that people can move freely.
Councillor, let me interject a little more. These are a form of platform that a lot of aspirants, even candidates, even those who became president, including the present president, always talk about. We got to do the health, we got to do the road, we got to do the food production, and all of that. But it is one thing to earmark these things as things that you want to actualize for the existence of the country, and it is another thing to tell us what procedures and strategy you're going to use to achieve this. Because to have to say this, it's just important.
That's
How do you raise the
That's an excellent question. Save me time. Honest, understood your question. I'm a teacher. The students are asking questions. I already know the answer.
I know.
Listen. One thing that is a stumbling block to Liberia's development, that is making Liberia not stagnant, not standing in one place, but Liberia going backwards at very fast speed and gaining Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Ghana, all the countries in the region running ahead. Then we, the first independent country, will say the whole country will just going back. That corruption, stealing. The one that Bassa put, plenty people in government over the years have been eating you just to steal. Government is not a place to steal, it is a place to serve the people and to seek their common good and to protect them. So when they steal all the money, then no money to put in the hospital, no money to put in education, no money to maintain the road, no money to put to grow food. You know what they like to do is to steal money. For example, this government here, they put $11 million in the budget to give it to Lebanese, Indian, and other Liberians who import rice. The price of rice will never go down until we grow it here. Why you can't take that $11 million United States dollar and give it to farmers to grow rice? That's the most sustainable way. You take $11 million, you give it to the rice importer and say, so you can keep the rice price down so you can go. That's not a solution. And you know why they do it? Because they can take some and put it in their pocket. Then they justify without giving the money to the people. But the business people will not come and say, no, they didn't give them the money because they gave them some. And they want to get some more next year. Even the road billing, you think government does not know the law. But when you put a yellow machine, you can't get anything. But when you say the road for here to Riverside, there are $5 million to rehabilitate it, somebody will take $2 million and get $3 million. The road will never be rehabilitated, but nobody will ask questions. The road to Bella Yala, under President Salim, the government has said, they, according to Senator Oscar Cooper, who are head of the Public Works Committee, say $18 million is spent on it. Even Bassa can go on and on. That means they ate the money. That's the thing that I keeping the country down. So for all the things that I'm doing, Liberia got resources. We get diamond, we get gold, we get iron ore. We have several other minerals. And we even have uranium that they can use for nuclear bomb.
There was a discovery of oil.
We have oil. We have everything. So we're not supposed to be poor. Let me tell you, Botswana, one of the richest and fast-growing economies in Africa, got only one natural resource, that diamond, and they live on it. Their budget in 2005 was $4 billion United States dollars, and they are less than 3 million people. So you can imagine the per capita income in that country. And as a landlocked country, we about 70% of the country covered by Cllr desert. But besides the mineral, the Atlantic Ocean is seized to. There are billions of dollars lying there. Some people, the fishing and the marine life, we can make a lot of money from it. I was in Little Bassa the other day, and the vice president for the fishing union, Siatomi, comes on Gongloe. The people here, the funding people, all the people who come to fish here, they make $4 million every day. People, government overload it. So from there, I said, when I become president of Liberia, I will add this to my durables that will train a lot of Liberians to be fishermen. We will train them to how to make kingdom. And the government will set them to our machines and train them to be fishermen so we can live, because from what she said, from the ocean alone, Liberia has the longest coastal area in West Africa. So from marine life, we can make money from the marine life alone. Then the tourism. I've been to Senegal and Gambia. They are nowhere compared to all when you ride. When I was solicitor general, I used to ride helicopter all the time. When you start from Cape Town to Cape Town, you can see one rocky beach. It's all standing. You know what it means? It means that millions of people can come from the world, from around the world for tourism and just be on the beaches. If you allow people to build hotels along the beach, Liberia will be better than many of the places that people go for tourism. So there are another billions of dollars lying there because of tourism, Kenya, Gambia, and other places I rely on. So yeah, there. Tourism is another virgin area for. And then we have our forest. Oh my God. When I become president, nobody will take laws out of the country. I will issue an executive order. Stop exploitation law. Why? Liberia can be a #1 furniture producer. Because some of the hardwood that we have don't exist anywhere in the world before. We have mahogany, we have eki. All the top wood are here. Liberia still has 43% of the remaining tropical forest in the world, West Africa. Which means we have more forest than Nigeria, Africa, and Ghana combined. Forget about even the furniture production, tourism. There's something called ecotourism. Just for people to come and see that kind of forest. Some people come from the desert. Some people come from areas that are covered by ice. They've never seen a forest before. They will come and walk in that forest, build their tents, and be taking pictures of animals in the forest. For example, Liberia is the only country that has the pygmy hippopotamus. Nowhere in the world. Some people will come to see how pygmy hippopotamus live. Once we stop corruption and we can provide all the logistics for the police, pay them well so that people are protected. Because nobody want to come in a country where people are insecure. Now, one of the areas that I want to emphasize as a lawyer, there will be strong law enforcement. The independence of the judiciary will be strengthened by an executive order that anybody who interferes with the police and the judiciary will be dismissed from our government. Because usually the ministers can say my interest will stop that. So this broom is meant to fight corruption. This broom is meant to
I was thinking it was an attachment of the Igbo.
No. It is a symbol of the Liberian People's Party. And it is a broom that will win election because nobody wants dirt. The dirt in government that is making Liberia dirty and making Liberia not to shine, not to move forward is corruption. So symbolically, I want to tell you, we have to sweep the dirt here together. If I don't sweep it, like they once trying to broom it easy to break. But collectively, it's hard to break. So I want to lead the process for all Liberians to join me so we can fight corruption. And I want to say on this radio that anybody come to this statutory district and say they want to be representative, they want to be senator, they want to be president, if they are not for the broom, don't listen to them. Because that they want broom, that they want corruption that being keeping up. Anybody who wants to join in government is not prepared for transformation of Liberia. And when we sweep the dirt, we must not put it in the dump pile. Because when we put it in the dump pile, when the breeze blows, it will come by again. We have to burn it. And the way we burn it is when Councillor Gongloe as president, you minister, you steal, will not dismiss them, you go sit and enjoy the stolen money with you and your family that what they used to do before. So what we'll do, sir, is we will dismiss you immediately, turn you over to the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission for full investigation and prosecution. When you are found guilty, you go to jail for 5 to 10 years. Then the money you got in the bank, the horses you build, the cars you bought, everything you do with that money, will take it from you and give it back to the government of Liberia. But we'll do it. And about 5 minutes are in jail for 10 years. All the property taken, the family people suffering. I strongly believe nobody will dare steal again. That has to burn corruption. So we have plenty of money for our gold, for our diamond. In fact, when I become president, we're not going to be sending raw gold out of this country. In Botswana, the same polished diamond will do the same thing. We'll enter into agreement with some of the well-known companies that can smelt gold. So we can send the finished product, not raw gold, out of the country. We don't make money out of that. Smeltering will create jobs. Mining will create jobs. Then we create a job for the young people, right? The same thing with diamond. Raw diamond does not create job. We'll have polish, we'll sell polished diamond. Just as we call DBA too, like Botswana did, a good example. We call DBA and say, look, we want to enter into contract with you to sell so you can polish our diamond. So, like, bro, there's so much revenue for selling polished diamond. The things are there, but people in government don't want to do it because they go selling raw diamond and deny us of the reason we bribe people and say, no, let's just sell the raw diamond. No. I've learned a lot and I know how other poor countries like
what dividend does it bring to the country when you polish it down?
Oh, no. You see, the value of the diamond gets higher. Okay. So if a diamond is supposed to sell for $100, when you polish it, it might sell for $500. So the revenue from there, the tax on $100 is smaller than the tax on $500, right? And so, Liberia get bigger tax. So when we get tax revenue like that, then we can put it in education that they have. We can put it in health. We can put it in road maintenance and construction. We can put it in food production, rice production. I ain't allowed to talk about food because, like I said, Liberia can eat cassava, except for Grand Bassa and Nimaka, the world can swallow GB. we swallow the hard one, you can swallow the soft one. So that's the how. We'll do, we'll fight corruption, we'll engage in value addition of our products to generate more money.
Great.
And I also have, in my economic plan, I'll create job for young people. We need to have electricity all over the country. The cheapest form of electricity are hydro. You see fires to the poor hydro over from it for more than 60 years they've been providing cheap electricity.
This has a very big fall.
So again, these are the things we're looking to. We will borrow money to have hydro all over the country. And when we have hydro all over the country, people will put factories all over the country. We encourage factories to be anybody who puts a factory 100 miles away from another. Now government will reduce your corporate tax. And every 50 miles, another one. To the extent that if you have your factory in Kipamos or Bagleville, you pay almost zero tax. But you know what you do when you employ 500 person in Bagleville? By the way, Bagleville are present, we are home. Right now, it's tough. No job there. The people are catching their hair. So if you put 500 people there, there will be payroll tax, right? For every income you get, will pay income tax to government. Then government will go ahead. I mean, those employees, they have to sleep somewhere. They will go ahead and be renting rooms and apartments, right? Even when you go there temporarily, will be sleeping in motels, right? The motel owner, the house owner will get income. From the income, government will get a tax revenue again. So there will be an increase on any multiplier effect of that one factory that government will get so much revenue. So the people in Bagleville will be getting money in their pocket, and then government also will be getting money. The revenue that government will get, government will put into education, road building, health, and everything. And let me promise the Liberian people when Gongloe become president, I will not go abroad for medical treatment. I will improve the medical system here.
You are on record for this thing.
I'm on record for this thing. Here is what I will do. Every month, so now even 2 times I just want to check my pressure and my blood level. I will say, and I get clinic here in compound 3. I will come here and say, without notice to the city mayor, I just kind of say what the president here, but one of my security people know. I came here to check my blood pressure, to do my vital signs. If they tell me no stethoscope to check the blood pressure machine, they're not there, I say I want to check my urine. They say no microscope here. But after I'm feeling looking at the budget and I'm feeling asking Ministry of Finance whether they have disbursed anything to the clinic, right? Somebody will be fired that day and might end up in jail. When I do that, surprise visits to many clinics in Liberia. Because my viewers,
where does the president go?
The reason,
will know.
No, they will not know. I beg you. When the security people know tomorrow, I want to go to J.J. Johnson Hospital in Kipamos. I'm going by helicopter with few security. We're going. I'm not going there to tour the town. So I'm going to the hospital, and the superintendent called like 1 hour to go to the hospital. I get there, I say, superintendent, I say, let's go to J.J. Johnson Hospital. Doctor, I'm here to do my vital signs, check my blood and my heartbeat and all the different. They say, oh, the president will be sorry, the machine not here, somebody will be fired. Because if the hospital is not good for the president, it should not be good for the citizens. I want to lead by example.
Okay.
And once I do that, the health system will be improved because nobody wants to be fired.
Okay. Okay, so that's the voice of Councillor Tiawan say Gongloe. He is the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party, the LPP. Of course, he's our guest here this morning, talking a lot of things he intends to do for the people of Liberia. Once elected, we understand he wants to be president of the Republic of Liberia. We're going for a very short musical break, at which time we allow our guests to take water break. And then we'll come back, we'll go to the next of the questioning, and then after that, we open the phone line for interaction with the public. This break, we'll be right back. The water break, and then we'll come back, we'll go to the next of the questioning, and then after that, we open the phone line for interaction with the public. This break, we'll be right back. Of one of Liberia's astute personality, the president of Councillor Tiawan say Gongloe. He is the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party. on this segment of the weekend presentation of the program, The News Generation. Here we get generated news emanating from our district and other parts of Manana Bureau. We'd like to say welcome again to the microphone, Councilor Gongloe.
Thank you. Before you ask a question, I like the music that you're playing.
Pull out Bureau first?
Yeah, pull that girl first. That is what I have loyalty to two C's in my life. My conscience and my country. So I put my country first.
And that's why you want to become president to make a difference.
Exactly. And one easy example is this. Every year I spend Christmas with my family in Wayzohn, down in the statutory district, and my wife will have Christmas party for the children. But I told my wife I want a bigger family now. I decided to be president of Liberia, so it's like very interest. I abandoned my family this year. On the 24th of December, I stepped in Orange Grove. And I was pleasantly and surprisingly told that I was the first politician in the life of Orange Grove to even speak to the state of representatives, senators. Nobody can speak. They always jump over Orange Grove and come to Buchanan. So I was the first to speak there. And then on Christmas Day, I stepped in Little Bassa. And then, so I've been spending the whole Christmas here. And I was spending New Year in River 6. That is sacrifice, putting Liberia first. And that's what I want.
That's good. Wonderful. Now, Councilor, a few things you talked about, and we'd like to link something very close to it, which is significant as part of our discussion here. What you're talking about is more or less what we call Liberianization. I mean, a president who intends not to take treatment outside of the country, or rather in one of the hospitals, is a way of promoting what we have that we should be promoting. But a lot of presidents in past, even as time to be corrected, this is our president. I think many of their children don't normally attend school. Even ministers, deputy ministers, official government, when they become president of those positions, they rather send their children outside of this country when they think education is having a good foundation as compared to this country. You becoming a president, where do you send your children to go to school?
Unfortunately, I don't have children that are in school. My younger child is 26 years.
So your family children,
both of them. My daughter is married to a Nigerian. They live in Liberia right now. And so the boy is 2 years old and 3. And she just have a child who is now 1 year old. My son lives in the States. He has his 2 children there. He's an adult. I'm encouraging him to even come visit Liberia. I try to bring him back. Cllr sent me into exile when Cllr put me in jail, and the Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch advocated for me to leave the country with my family. I was forced to leave the country. America gave me asylum. Now the children, I didn't get a green card, but the children insisted that they get a green card, so they say that they are adults. I'm a human rights man. I can't talk about human rights. So my son lived there, my daughter lived there. Now, and my other son lived in America too. So if they bring my grandchildren to me, as president, I'm sure when I'm president, I will send my grandchildren to me. I will send them to the same school that my grandchildren will be going to. I will definitely do that because under my administration, I want the government school to be much better than the private schools. I can provide textbooks for all children in Liberia, even children in private schools. When I'm in California, every time I travel, I want to look for. When I'm in California the other time, 6 months ago, I traveled to the California Education Commission. I said, can you go give her your whole textbook, come math and math, English and English, reading and reading, science and science. The only book that we need different is our history, our social science. They say, yeah, but our students use books to throw them away. So what the government needs to come to the books here, all students can have access to textbooks. So I will do that. But more than that, Liberianization is number one to me. Every serious country give preferential treatment to its citizens. In America, they can tell you, I live there and say, this job here, they can put the only American citizens apply. Then some contract against the only American companies apply. I've seen them do that. So when I become president, government is the only institution, is the biggest buyer of goods and services. I would say for this project, only Liberian companies apply. Then Liberian company will compete and the price will be taken, right? When we do that, I want to create millionaires in Liberia. The money that government uses are taxpayer money, but why you give it to other people? So For example, I would say one of my government, I've said it many times, will not buy foreign made furniture because they were making foreign furniture producers to make money from us. So when I become president, I'll issue an executive order. Any ministry or agency that buys imported furniture, the minister will be dismissed. We will not use our money to buy foreign made furniture. Then we put carpentry here. Everybody wants to be carpenter and we get jobs. So that's what I'll prioritize. I will not be the president who said, you're consistent on some things. He said, under administration, Liberia will not be spectators. People ask me. I said, that's true. Because to be a spectator, you have to be in the stadium. But under Georgia, the Liberian business people are not even allowed to enter the stadium. So they can't even qualify to be a spectator or even players. Under my administration, Liberian business people will control the key. They will be the players on the field. And the only way to do it by policy. And I would clearly say the preferential treatment of Liberia. Liberia will feed at the end of their country. Liberian business people, Liberian citizens, you heard me say Liberian citizens who are 65 years old or good. I didn't say everybody in Liberia. Preferential treatment. Liberian children will go to hospital free of charge. Liberian pregnant women. I didn't say everybody because this is their country. Something will make them feel special. That how you can promote love of country. So I do what I say. I observe in the bar association, for example, that the practice of law in this country was something everybody there used to take grip, they take court, they go to court, and all the quacks were lawyers in the country. The same way I got rid of the quacks in prosecution, or became president of the bar, I introduced something. I said there would be license. In order for you to get license to practice law, there's a brilliant feature. Nobody can just get it. In order to get license, here is what I said. The bar used to beg too. Every time we're begging the UCA, we're begging UNDP, we're begging Canada said in order to support our program. I look at our bylaws and say, if you don't pay your bar due, you can't practice law. I say, oh, but then we have to make us self-reliant. So I say we have to have license. I went to Cllr. By law, it is the revenue section that you should give professional license to all professions, the doctor and lawyer and everybody. So I entered into MOU with the Commission General. And then they gave the authority to the bar to issue license to its members. The only thing the members should pay the license fee $100 a year. That because of that, I set up a committee, licensing board. And they came up with a form. Your name, your parent name. Are you a natural born citizen? Yes. Are you or no? If you say no, are you naturalized? Yes. Attach your naturalization certificate. Because you know what happened to that Abuduke case, that Nigerian man who slipped through our system. He embarrassed the bar, embarrassed the judiciary, embarrassed the law school, everybody. So we put it, are you naturalized? Yes. Then attach your naturalization certificate so we can check on it. Are you a graduate of a law school? Yes. Which law school? When did you graduate? Are you admitted to practice law in Liberia? Yes. When were you admitted and which court? All of those did attach your admission certificate, attach a copy of your degree. All of those things. Then the last question for us for self-reliance. Have you paid all your bar dues? No, you can't get your license. When I started enforcing the law, even my classmates and very close friends, the first thing I did, I paid all my dues from the lawyers I had 7 lawyers, I paid all their dues. I paid my own. Were clear. So I started enforcing it because you have to have a moral authority to do something. So me, everybody in my law office, I pay the dues. Some friends will come to me, Congo, I got 3 years due. Can you give me a chance to pay the other 4 years by installment? I said, no. When I did it, some people only 5 years pay. All of a sudden, the bar treasury went way up. And all the quack lawyers that used to be at Temple Church, and I said somebody are not in the corner in the magistrate course. But in Monrovia, you can't see any non-lawyer paying, any could have done. Then you pay the judge, where your license? This year license. When you can't show it, they dismiss your case. The judge said, my man, you're not a lawyer. You are compelled to do so. Our lawyer last year, but you saw me as there, but last year you're a lawyer, but this year you're not a lawyer, unless you show your license. So we are checking up the law practice, we have brought respect to the law practice, And we have made a bar self-reliant. In fact, under my administration, I built the first story of a 3-story headquarters that we try to build. From the money I generated and I left money in the conference. That what enforcement of rule of law will apply to everybody equally. That what you can do to a country, that what we can do. I don't want to say that. So I can do what I say. Myself, I pay all my contribution to the headquarters. And 1,000 per councillor I pay. Even before I went to be president of the park. So now I can enforce the law without looking back.
All right,
and then I used to return money when I travel. The current president of Bassa, my vice president, he was elected because the post said, oh, there were 3 candidates again and said, one, the Gongloe administration will continue. So let's elect his vice president who honors studying him. So my vice president came from Malawi, from the African Bar Convention. He returned the balance of the money. Somebody called me from the guy I was in the state. Somebody called me and said, oh, the thing you started continuing, the president returned, he gave us the balance of the money. I said, you see, we just need one good example in the presidency of Liberia, and Liberia will be a good place.
Right. So, Councillor, a lot of callers are popping on the phone.
Let them call.
And they want to have some interaction with you. But before we take callers on land this morning, you didn't talk anything much about the structure of the LPP, the political party. Have you chosen your own mate?
I'm not choosing my own maker. But you know what? There are so many people who are prepared to be vice president. In fact, I have strong people. Many people in Africa that will choose weak people to be their vice president. For me, I want to choose somebody like me. All right? And there are many. I'm not going to give you that secret now. I'm not authorized from my party to give you that secret. All I can say is we have a party chairman here. Crown Bassa can sit right in the studio with me. And
can you please call his name?
His name is George Kennedy. George lives in Buchanan. He's a teacher by profession. Right. And so he is here in the country, and as we go around, he's strengthening our party structure. Before we leave here today, he will get some people to join the coordinator here to make LPP persons here, because I'm sure that people are attracted by my simple message of transforming the country, that I have a better Liberia chamber. Once we remove corruption from the way, but you know what? From the way.
75 days on the caller. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to Mr. Gongloe.
This is Voice of We, community radio station.
Okay, Voice of We, thank you. Yes, sir.
What's your name?
I'm watching TV joining from the
Okay, go ahead.
I called this morning to appreciate the councillor. I think we did well in delivering his message to the people of Bassa. But I think we have more to do to be elected in the country. For the fact that we want to serve as president in this nation, we have to do a lot of things. One, I think we need to do is we should lead the issue of corruption because you cannot work on that. But then lead that one for sure. Because people can tell give those messages, but when they get people see they don't work on it. We call President John Grant all those things that he's not going back there. So I think you can go back in your drawing room or wherever you see from and see whether you can change that corruption issue into another thing that is a rumble with you there.
Thank you. 0777 975 0777 777 975. I beg you, you got to call. I'm not taking message. This caller, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Abeni Wokole. I'm from MIE community.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to thank the you see, there was not a dog when at the end of the day, they can all do better. And even after you want to be president for a very long time, you have to tell all the protest they're not working. They put up for election day, campaign time, before they can start coming with other people. They don't know how to
Okay. So your problem is that before they come to vie for the position, they should start doing some tangibles. 0777 777 is a number. We want to tell maybe 10 calls on the line this morning. So if you delay, then don't blame me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Tell me where you calling from.
I'm sorry, calling from DC community.
Yeah, go ahead. 30 seconds.
I really appreciate this student and in his FOC. But I have a small flavor. In Gongloe, he's a teacher. We're also talking about teachers to settle, putting things into the rules of education, making sure that teachers have a good incentive, especially those real teachers coming from the city, coming into the real area, the community and all the mental of Liberia.
Thank you. Second point. 07777.
I'm not right now. Can I give you some of the questions before?
Yeah. Okay. Let me put the last caller. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So what we're going to do this morning with Black Q, the counselor has said he was not taking note, but he has remembered a few other comments from the callers, and so he wants to address them quickly before we add the next batch of callers. So those of you on the line, just wait a minute so the counselor can address the first 5 callers, and then we'll go back to accepting the next batch of callers. Black Q.
Somebody asked, what's my relationship with Senator Prince Johnson?
Yeah.
We have a very good relationship. We don't have any personal differences. We may have different opinions on issues. For example, he's not satisfied that I talk about war and economic crimes court. But that's his view. There are majority of the people in this country want accountability. I cannot be speaking about rule of law and be selective and say certain aspects of our life should not be accounted for. In fact, it should be in the interest of those who are accused by the TRC or who are recommended for prosecution to be advocating for it like Joshua Blai is doing, because if they don't go to court and maybe they die tomorrow, the family will be stigmatized forever and say your father was a war crime, a war criminal, or your sister or brother was a war criminal. So it's better to clear. Babu went to the war crime court and got acquitted, right? Former president of Ivory Coast. And Pierre Bamba of DRC also went and got acquitted. One man from Sierra Leone, Jibril Massacre, I think was even tried in this country by the Finnish court, and he got acquitted. So they are free now, their family members are free. Nobody can call their family member war criminal. So it's just fair, just because you're accused or not mean you're a criminal, for them to go and have a day in court. And I think everybody should call for that. And that is what I've been advocating, that everybody who is accused of war crimes should go to the war crimes court, war economic crime court. And that's the thing that Senator Johnson disagrees with. But he and I have no personal difference. In fact, in his heart of heart, he's grateful to me, because when I was serving as executive assistant of President Sawyer, during the autopause, Cllr almost killed him. He came running to Akama to save him. And because Akama had problem, Akama didn't want to do it. Akama called Brigadier Ada, who was the deputy force commander, called Dr. Sawyer. The interim president was standing right by that, so he said that Brigadier Ada called him. He said the Prince doesn't want to be saved by them. I said once he puts his arm down under international law, he should be saved by them. And that's how they line to cross the Stoughton Creek and came to life. So in a way, he should owe his life to me. If I was a bad president, I would have said, well, I made this sign, he probably would have been dead. So we don't have any personal problem. The other question was whether I'm good with the youth. Of course, as a teacher, I'm good with the youth. Not only that, most of the young people in the country that mean they can call, I'm on record of being the candidate that has gone to has delivered most commencement addresses just this year alone. And I go to different youth programs right now. I should be at some, but again, I sacrifice. I'm in Grand Bassa. I represent the young people, Costa, Martin Colley, all these advocates who are not going to go to jail, I represent them. I represented Janja Bapra, the superintendent of this country. When they were in and he listening to me now, he would call and say that's true. When they were in opposition here, Moba Molu, Jefferson Koji, Kalasco, all these people, they used to be 20 or more. I represented more than 10 times, maybe 11 times or more when they were in opposition. And our young people didn't want to control the society now. I represented a lot. Everything about young people that media will come to. So I have a good standing with the young people in this country, more than many of the candidates now, even Georgia, because they had expectation and have been filled, because the young people expected that under Georgia government there will be more than 20 international players. Under his government not even being able to produce one international football player. Under his government, our stadium was closed and said it was unfit for playing international football. The young people expected that Ronaldo, Messi, and all the people who come to play in Liberia are not happy. In fact, the last African Cup of Nations, Sierra Leone, Africa, and Guinea qualified. Liberia did not qualify. Even small Gambia went to quarterfinal. So the expectation of the young people that under Georgia government, football would have been going way up. A lot of young people have benefited from it are not happy. And I say to them, if the man cannot succeed in his area of expertise, you don't expect him to succeed in the area of health, education, road building, or anywhere. So I am the number one when I come in. As for my colleague coming, nobody knows him will come because he has not lived here. Unfortunately for him.
Somebody talk about teacher, the teachers.
The teacher's salary. I'm a teacher. My father was a teacher. In fact, let me say in answer to your other question, somebody, what is the handbag? You see this and let people see it on
that's a structure.
This structure, my father died. He was a teacher for more than 40 years. And he was a principal of great public school. So when he died, the town honored him by burying him on the school campus. And I said to myself, this campus cannot be a graveyard. So I built an auditorium and library on his grave. You see a statue there with a chalk honoring my father. And I built on the government school campus is for the government. So it's a public-private partnership on the basis of what he did. So, but I don't judge my importance in terms of coming to presidency in terms of what I do physically. Because I know what George Weah did, and now I did to be elected. I didn't do that to be elected. I just want to show that I'm sensitive to the need of the people. It took 50 bundles of zinc, so you know it's a big building. The auditorium can host 500 persons. The library can host about 50 persons in the library.
A single county is benefiting and the rest of the 14 counties.
I'm just saying that nobody, should be judged. Leadership is about wisdom, is about honesty, is about commitment, is about discipline. In terms of discipline, not taking the national resources. And you also said, somebody asked, can you be a vice president of the current
Yes,
president?
I think that's
an insult to me. Because you see, more educated, more experienced in era of governance than president. Yeah, I've already said the mayors are able. I will be so opportunistic. That means a job I'm looking for. I will resign for any government with more qualified experience because the job of president will give me a hard time. She couldn't fight corruption. I had to resign from the government. Yeah, I'm going to work on the president. Yeah, I want to lead the process and not look for Councilor Gongloe or when he put the announcement. But go where Councilor Gongloe, you're bringing back to me. I want to lead the process to meet Councilor Gongloe, give me values. People talk to me to run for president, say, young people across the country, and that is why I'm running. I'm not looking for job. Somebody else says something.
No, I think you've addressed all the others. So let's take the next batch of colors on the land this morning. We will blend it to the next batch of colors.
Yeah, one of the guys talked about what yardstick are you going to use to fight corruption?
Oh no, I already talked about it. I talked about it, fighting corruption. The rule of law, arresting people, putting them in jail, and taking the assets away from them.
No, he said you should abandon the concept of fight against corruption because it will not come to fruition.
This is like the people in biblical time telling Noah, how can you build ark on an empty land? Some people are doubting Thomas's. I am saying I can do it. Jerry Rollins changed the landscape in Ghana by combating corruption by himself not being corrupt. There is no account that Jerry Rollins money, and he did not build a house for himself. Kwame Nkrumah did the same thing. So we have leaders who can fight corruption, and today it is not impossible in Liberia to fight corruption.
Okay, 777-777-975. We're taking the next batch of colors this morning, so you can begin placing your calls. This person is on the line. Good morning. Good morning. We're taking 4 more colors.
We don't want to disappoint and put it almost 10 o'clock.
Oh yes. Okay, great. Go ahead. Go ahead. What is the point?
Last year, my leg broke into two near Nashville. My leg broke into two accidents. My nose started running. My leg broke into
Where are you? You say where are you? Oh, the road from here to Buchanan.
All right, on that, it's good you say on the radio, but I'll contribute $20 to your treatment. And that arrangement, I'll give it to the radio station manager, and you can send for it.
Read all your number quick. Read your number out. 777 71 31 98. You must come for your money here. Your name. Your name. Oh,
So I've already given the money, yeah?
Yeah, you have a card with an ID card bearing your name. Thank you. Let me take two more callers, and then we briefly talk about the program today, and then we start from this point of the conversation. Good morning. No, so you be there. Please give chance to the other people. I beg you. Okay, go ahead quickly. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Thank you. Two more callers, and we call it a day this morning. Two more callers. Who could those callers be? This is one of them. Good morning. Good morning. Let me. Where are you calling from? Yeah, Ralph. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Wayzohn, and welcome to Weed Nation. I'm the best district in Bassa in Liberia.
Good morning.
I just want to know the relationship between the councillor and the former president and the legitimate worker. This comes to the opposition of the law.
Thank you. We're taking one more caller. I beg you, let's take the last caller, then you can blend the redress just for all of them. This is the last caller. Good morning. Good morning. Your name, where are you calling from? Quickly. Go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you. All right, so that's how we deactivate the phone line. Don't dare call on the line.
All right, some of those things can be done in 1 year. For example, I use an executive order. I'll issue an executive order in the first 100 days to start the exploitation of landlords in the country. I will use an executive order in the first 100 days to start interference with the police operation. I will use in the first 100 days another executive order to stop the interference with the judiciary. In the first 100 days, I will put a team together to assist the entrepreneurs to put a criteria together for providing small loans to business people, local business people, all of that. So there are some things that I'll do, but I have the whole 6 years to deal with some of these, many of these issues. But if you put in yellow machine, you need, several months to get things imported into this country. We don't produce yellow machine yet, so I have 6 years, and I'm saying I'll be gradually doing these things in 6 years. The question about my relationship with Butchida Barker is perfect. He was vice president in the government that I resigned from. We have not had any personal differences, unless the question is more than that. In terms of collaboration, yes, we can collaborate on issues, but I think collaboration on having one ticket that's a good thing. I don't know the possibility has to be magic now, because like now I'm here, he's somewhere else, come here somewhere else, we're moving. So but we can collaborate on issues. For example, I am saying that the Elections Commission chair should be removed because she clearly engaged in conflict of interest. She corrupts. She cannot engage. She cannot lead our #1 integrity commission. And she and other police are having differences and all of that. So we don't need anything. I need the other political parties to collaborate with our party on those issues. We can collaborate on issues at this point. If CPP and Health Together can be run, we're not going to run. They will not, even if I want to run, there will not be opportunity. All Liberians will have said, look, we're going to have two parties here, the CPP and the CDC. It did not happen. So it took more than 2 years to put themselves together and it scattered like this. So the issue of collaboration, the ticket, nobody should blame me for it. Those who collaborated and support their collaboration, I don't want that to be me. I am an alternative. Really, when I go around Liberia, what I'm finding, I'm a hair factory in Liberia. You know when they say, hey, at least comes of Gongloe, I come. If I not come to people, I'm going to commit suicide. So people are going to die from frustration because now I'm an alternative. There was no alternative when CPP failed.
Okay, so Councillor, let's just go quickly into the program. How is the program?
We are having program today. I'm here for a contest for the people to know me and for me to know them. If I already know compound 2 a little bit. It's just a debate this time in Bon Country, you know. It's a commercial town. I arrived here last night and I was really impressed.
This is compound 2.
This is a very active commercial town.
Oh, seriously?
I used to think that Buchanan was the only commercial
Are you
town.
aware of the Liberian Agriculture Company?
Yeah, I went to LAG last night.
Okay. So LAG is this.
And the way I see it, I compare this town to Smell Notice and Campo near Yikipa and also Catching Tree. I think what I'm guessing is that when some people retire from the company, they don't go back to the company.
No, they move
They
right
just build their house right here. Some people
So one of the major
some people are born in LAG, they don't even know their home. They're from Lima, they're from Bonka, they're from other places, and they know the area more. They just make this place as their home. And some of them have become contractors now. They still take their contract from LAG. So the LAG is contributing to the expanding of this town. I heard it was a town now it has become a city because it's big and it has all of the it's a self-sustaining city because the commercial entities in the town are able to contribute to sustaining the office of the city leader.
They cooperate.
They have to.
And so you said you drove 10 miles per hour. It means you took nearly 3 hours to reach there. What's the assessment of the road? Will you become
The road
president?
is not good.
This
That's
road-
why, and I want to say I want to put polio here in all the countries. They always say in the studio, nobody sees it, but you know that we use our polio here in all the countries. And the polio the machine used to be rehabilitated. By this time, we on the road rehabilitating the roads. And during rainy season, then they make
You need a road to be paved because it
I wanna
connects
bring
Lima
that.
County and other parts of Liberia.
I agree, but even beyond pavement, while we get to pavement, we can't wait. Before pavement, while we can
We
maintain the road,
recondition.
yeah, we have to recondition and maintain it.
Your party comment.
I want to thank the people of this statutory district. I'm a transformer. I am a messenger with a good message that can perform what is in the message. I want to make Liberia a sweet land of liberty for all Liberians, not for the few crooks that are going to government. I want to make government job unattractive. I want to create millionaires outside government, not inside government as it happens today. So that Liberia can be a productive country, can be a country that all of us will be proud of. A country when you leave and go abroad you want to run back to. And a country in which all Liberians will be reluctant to depart from. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Lima County.